Hi people, and hello my chilling carnage crew, it's Chili here, the man who produces Iron From My Eyes, doing a 5-minute review on Slaughter To Prevail's newest album, Grizzly. Now, wow, what a band to cover, hey? They're very controversial to a degree. I mean, hell, by the time that I get paid for making this video, by the time all the advertisements roll through, I might have more money than the drummer tech, at least for the band. But that's neither here nor there, we're talking about the album in particular. Grizzly is an album that has come out recently and has a whole bunch of musics on it. We're talking about 13 musics in total, that's right. It's a new one from their band, and this is a band that I've really never got into, to be perfectly honest. Their, I guess, presence is something that I've been one to avoid to a degree, and they really do have a, they toe the line in regards to the metal scene and what they offer. Bit of a controversial band as well, but that's metal for you in general, isn't it? If you're not controversial, what the fuck is wrong with you? So, Slaughter To Prevail is a band that I just, as again, never really got into, but, well, I listened to the new song that they had with Baby Metal, song 3, and I'm like, damn, that's a really good tune. What have I been missing out on? And look, to be honest, I haven't gone back and listened to the other stuff, so I'm coming into this with a really fresh face at the end of the day and no mask, but you know what? Grizzly kicks ass. I don't care what people are going to say, if they're going to hate on me for doing so or something like that, but damn, this Slaughter To Prevail album? Jesus, what a record. I mean, I was listening to it coming in blind and just going, this is probably going to make some mediocre kind of record or something like that. Nope. That ain't the case. That is not the case. I'm listening to it just going, holy shit. These guys are just absolutely brutal, writing some ferocious tunes at the end of the day. Maybe some of it kind of sounds commercialized, if you will, but that's because at the end of the day as well, this stuff is becoming a bit more popular. So, this genre, or whatever you want to call it, I guess the style of music that they are writing has been, it's for years they've done this style of music, and many other bands as well, but it has been more popularized, of course, through the success that it has brought. Grizzly is such maybe an attack on this. So, you know what? I mean, I'm listening to it, oh my god, it reminds me a lot, and I am going to get ostracized here. It reminds me a lot of Iowa, the record itself, and I'm talking about production-wise, like it's not as polished as some of the other contemporaries out there at the moment. Bring Me The Horizon, or whoever you want to call out. It's brought down a few degrees as far as production goes, and I appreciate that. I think it's actually quite a fresh take to hear, something that's a little bit unrefined, because and this is one of the issues that you see with metal these days, is that it is just too polished. It's too clean. The beats are perfect, and I'm not saying this isn't, but it's done at such a quality and level that it just doesn't sound real. It's surreal and doesn't sound like it could be recreated on a live setting. Of course, when you are going live, there's always going to be imperfections, but that's what's to be expected at a live setting at the end of the day. This, on the other hand, it's brought down to a level where I can go, I like this, the way that they've done it, and its unpolished sounds. Its flaws are probably its better attributes towards the record, and if you could go back to listen to Black Sabbath and their early record, their 70s material, and back in the day, maybe their production quality was great, but to be honest, I mean, you listen to that versus these days, everything else is going to blow it out of the water. What still sounds better? Black Sabbath, of course. And I think that is a point that I raised, I guess, on the Sabotage review as well, is that the added issues of the production levels, of course, were stuff that added value to the album at the end of the day. Grizzly, I feel that way towards this one. It sounds like Iowa. Iowa had a certain production level going into that one. The drums in particular, this is where I got caught into the Iowa side of things, was the drums in particular on this album, which are just gnarly. It's absolutely balls of the wall, ferocious, crazy, and I don't even know what to make of it at that point. It's just insanely cool. So, yeah, it's got a few tracks here with there's a few guest vocalists and musicians here throughout the mix. We have, of course, Ronnie Radke, not a personal favorite of my channel, but interesting to have him on there anyway. I guess, these two musicians will go hand in hand, but you've also got Baby Metal as well, again, which song 3. So they clearly are making waves, and people are standing up and listening to what they're playing. So there is clearly some cool shit running through this. at the end of the day, I think it's a really strong album. Maybe it's going to be one that's going to get a lot of hate from people who just hate the band in general. And I kind of thought I might fall into this camp when I was listening to the album in preparation for the review. However, these guys just blew me away with the music. And at the end of the day, I can't deny what is generally a really good album. And that's what I think about this album. It's not necessarily the style that I would listen to all the time, but this is definitely up there. I'm definitely going to throw, one or two tracks here and there on playlists. I'm definitely going to come back and listen to this album. So I can't hate on an album when it's not hate, it's not worthy of my hate. It's a good record, but I'd be keen to hear what you have to say about the record, of course, in the comment section below. Overall, I think this album deserves a score of about, 7.5 million chilies on the spicy scale, with my favourite tracks, of course, being Banditos, Viking, and I'm going to say Song 3. Slaughter To Prevail is, once again, an interesting band. They've got their figures in the metal community and their reputation as well. But I guess like any band that has come and gone or is still around in the scene, they always have a reputation to behold. Slaughter To Prevail are living up to it, and that's how they're going to run it at the end of the day. If you're going to write bangers like this and this great album, then shit, go for it, But comment below, tell me, what album am I missing out on? What album should I go back and listen to by the band? Because, this might just open up a can of worms that I've just not been really, or that I've had closed off for various reasons. But, as always, you have a great day and stay spicy out there. If you've enjoyed this content, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to us, and stay notified for future music-related content, because it keeps our manager happy at the end of the day. We are also on Discord, Instagram, Facebook, and all those other social platforms if you want to check us out. As always, people, you have a great day and stay spicy.